As we count down the days to Las Vegas, I'm connecting with speakers, sponsors, and industry experts to get a pulse on what we can expect to see at Enterprise Connect 2026. I am thrilled that Helen Yu is one of those people who will be joining us at this year's event. Helen, if you're down for it, I'd love to just talk a little bit about what's to come at Enterprise Connect and what people can expect when they join us on site.
Absolutely, Justin. I am thrilled about the opportunity because this will be my first Enterprise Connect.
So your first time there, I'm always curious to hear from people. What are some of the things that have jumped out to you as you've heard about the conference this year?
Well, there are three things I'm most excited about. Number one is vendor neutral, right? That's the kind of space we need. Number two, it is where IT leaders can pressure test ideas and really learn from peers. Lastly, I get to network with technology decision makers to drive some more business.
Yeah, what's interesting to me about this event in particular is it is this collision of individuals inside of organizations that doesn't always happen when you think about all of these distinct parts of how businesses collaborate internally, what they use to connect each other from a communications infrastructure, but increasingly how they're serving and working with their customers. And what's interesting to me about watching Enterprise Connect over the years is those worlds have been naturally coming closer and closer together. And we're at this moment in time where the need for connection between the people that are serving customers, the people that are serving fellow coworkers throughout a business, to be in one place together really is something that I think is incredibly special and unique to this conference.
I could not have agreed more with you, Justin. How many times have you been to Enterprise Connect?
I have stopped keeping track. So what's interesting So my background is in customer experience operations, and for a long time, I actually remember the first time I got invited to Enterprise Connect, there was a track specific to contact center, and a lot of what happened in that conversation was very technology based and just about the technology. And now we're at a time where the role of tech isn't just about turning on features and functions. It is such a key part of a business's strategy. It is front and center to so much of what's happened, and it's easily been over a decade since my first Enterprise Connect, and it's just been exciting to see the evolution of, again, not just the technology, but the role that it's playing and how organizations are serving their employees and their customers. It's just, it's been fun for me to watch.
Yeah, I share your observations, Justin, that convergence, right? That intersection of security, trust, workforce impact, and AI, that all pulling everything together. So I'm really interested in this conference tracks like tech disruption zone, implementing without imploding, and then architecting transformation. Architecting your 3 to 5 year roadmap by Zoom seems very interesting. Those are things I need to learn more. And then it goes beyond, as you said, adopting AI. It's doing it in a way that's trustworthy, secure, and helpful for people like us. That strategic IT leadership roundtable on making AI work is very appealing to me. Those are the peer conversations where the real learning happens.
Here's what I love about Enterprise Connect this year. So the big umbrella is all in on what's next. And I think when you talk to business leaders about what's next, that evokes feelings of maybe uncertainty, maybe it's excitement, maybe it's a little bit of exhilarating nausea, right? It's all of those things at once. And I appreciate how thoughtful all of the tracks are this year, so that no matter where you're at in your journey, maybe you're thinking about transformation, maybe you're in the midst of it, maybe you've tackled the mountaintop and you're already thinking about what's next. There really is a good combination of those sessions, of those tracks for people to be able to step in. What's also interesting is it's set up in such a way that I can bring a few of my peers in the organization. Maybe I am running a lot of our IT decision makings, but I do want somebody from my CX operations. They're going to be just as much at home at this conference as others. So I think that's really interesting and valuable. And then it also, as people who've maybe registered for the event or are looking at it, it also starts to show up on the keynote stage. I mean, we've got folks like Zoom, Heather McGowan. I got to see Heather speak this past fall, and it is incredibly thought-provoking in terms of what she's going to bring to the stage. So it's just, again, it's a really interesting time in our industry, and I think the programming has been really reflective of what every single person who's running these functions inside of their organization are going through right now.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Heather, her keynote stand out to me as well because she grounds the future of work in what matters most. We talk about people, adaptability, empathy, and curiosity. They're all critical as AI reshapes roles. Like you said, I'm also looking forward to Amazon Connect keynote on building trust in AI, the RingCentral session on harnessing AI to power business outcomes, and Zoom's Beyond Friction in Collaboration, how AI and human connection move work forward. As a matter of fact, making AI operational in real enterprise environments is top of mind for all of us. Honestly, you know what? The panel, what if AI never pays off, might be the most important conversation of this entire event.
So I love that you mentioned that one. Right. So let's think about the main stage. We get to hear from visionaries like Heather. We get to hear from technical heavyweights at some of those companies. But then the panels for me really is where a lot of this comes to life. We're getting to hear from enterprise business leaders who are having to live with the consequences of these decisions every single day. And I too that session on what if all this AI stuff doesn't pay off, which spoiler alert, it's going to pay off. How much time it takes is another question. But it brings to bear the real conversations that are happening inside of organizations right now. And that's what I think is so meaningful. Sometimes it can feel hard to say the thing that we're all thinking or experiencing out loud. This is an opportunity to do that, to realize that we're not alone in the decisions that we're navigating, the processes that we're having to reorganize, right? There's all of this change right now. And this to me is an opportunity to be affirming. You're not alone in this. You get to hear from others who are leading the way, and also just find out what are others thinking about as they're navigating their own transformations.
I love that. You know, we're not alone. We all feel like we're falling behind already, right? When you talk about what's next, as a matter of fact, that's happening. What's next is really happening right in front of us. So don't feel pressured if you're not catching up. You just need to take a really deep breath, and then knowing that there's large community there at Enterprise Connect that you can really learn from and share, where you are at with each other and really grow together.
Yeah. Well, and the community to me is one of the most powerful aspects. Whenever I go to a conference, one of the things that you'll probably hear me say from the stage is that you will learn far more in the hallways than you might in any one of the rooms. And Enterprise Connect is no exception. It is packed, whether it is the networking events, the Vegas themed conference party, the closing reception, speed networking. I mean, every corner is going to be an opportunity for you to network with others, to connect in just candid conversations. This is one of those moments where if you don't walk away from this conference with outsized value, you're doing it wrong, because there's so many opportunities for you to step in. I mean, as you think about your time at the conference, what's one of the things that you want to make sure you take part of, Helen, as you're trying to network and connect with people there?
There are going to be tons of IT decision makers and tech leaders who are managing communications infrastructure contact center leaders, implementing AI solutions, or anyone optimizing hybrid work or digital workspaces. I love to connect with them. That's part of bulk of my business, so I like to learn from them. What are things, what's working, right? Also really figuring out what else we can do next together. If you're shaping how your organization communicates or collaborates, navigating the integration challenges of digital transformation like me, or you just want to learn while having fun in Las Vegas, right? Who wouldn't want to be in Vegas in March? There's Sphere, there's concert, there's Red Rock, 20 minutes drive from the conference center. That's fantastic venue.
Yeah, Las Vegas, I'm a foodie, I'm an entertainment junkie, so there's always a list of restaurants and shows when I go there. But you were talking about, hey, learning and having some fun, which reminded me, one of the things that is new for Enterprise Connect this year that I'm taking part in, and I'm really excited to see it come to life, is this thing called hot takes and cold drinks. And it's this idea of how do we come together for really bold ideas, candid conversations. In my mind, I'm just imagining like pulling up a chair at a pub next to a friend and just talking about the things that really are nagging at us and we want to see addressed. And so that's one that I've already got some knocked off on my calendar. If I want to make sure that I want to be in that
I
session.
am in as long as you have that cold drinks for me. And then I'm going to take you, you're a foodie. I like to show you some really cool places for foodies.
I like it. I like it a lot. So as we think about all of the things at Enterprise Connect, Helen, there's one thing that we didn't talk about from a conference experience standpoint, and that's what's happening in the expo hall. When I talk to folks, this is one of those things that can easily be overwhelming or intimidating, and it's like, where do you even begin? I mean, you can see all of the latest tech. You can have demonstrations of, everything and anything. When you think about that opportunity, getting to see all of these technologies side by side, how do you typically approach that? What would be your plan for discovering new tech at the Expo Hall at Enterprise Connect?
That's a great question. I usually do a lot of research before coming or do my homework before coming to the conference. For me, the intersection of AI, security, workforce impact, those are very important to me. So I'll do research and figuring out which one sessions are more relevant to me or the speakers I want to connect with or attendees I want to connect with. Those are things you have to do. You don't just show up and then having fun, but you have to leverage opportunity, maximize your learning. And because this is the opportunity, as you said, to have so many people together, and then it's vendor neutral too, right? This is where you do homework, you figure out session you're gonna go, and then make sure you show up, be there, and then make sure you take some of the things you know to bring that to the table as well. That's all about value exchange, right? You learn, you also give what you already know, and then that's how we build a stronger community and collaborating with each other and then thrive together. I would say learn, grow, and thrive together.
I like it. And the exchange of ideas really is so important. These conferences, maybe some of us just go and feel like, I can only be a consumer. I don't know that I have anything to share. And I would challenge everybody. There is something that you are doing, that you are thinking about, that will provide incredible value to somebody else at this conference. So show up, be willing to engage in conversation, ask questions. There's going to be lots of opportunity to learn and connect. So I think, Helen, maybe the last question is, we've talked about it a little bit, but who is Enterprise Connect really for? Who am I? I'm watching this and I should be at the conference. Who needs to be there this year?
Well, if you're IT decision makers, you're tech leaders managing communications infrastructure, contact center leaders implementing AI solutions, or anyone optimizing hybrid work or digital workspaces, you should be there. Or you mentioned about customer success, customer CX leaders. You don't have to have engineering background to be at this event. You can always learn. Now is the convergence of IT and business leader. So it is really for all who are curious and also courageous learners who are willing to go in and step out your comfort zone to learn new things.
Yeah, it really is that convergence. And I would say that if you have any vested interest in how your organization is connecting with your customers, how you are communicating amongst yourselves, how you're collaborating to drive your future, this is the conference for you. It's where IT and operations get to come together, have really interesting conversations, challenge each other, and it really is the discussions that happen at this conference that pave what the next 12 months and beyond are going to look like. This is one conference that is on my cannot miss list every single year. Helen, I am excited for you. You get to experience it for the very first time in your hometown.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, thank you, Justin. I can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah, and it is not too late. If you're watching this and you haven't signed up, registration is still open for Enterprise Connect. Helen and I will be there. We want to get some time to get to know you, so we would love to see you coming up. Las Vegas, just a few weeks. I cannot wait.